This is WV Guns and Goats, and this is the XK68 by SMS Lasers. Check this out. It's about the size of a deck of cards, and it packs a 1200 lumen white light, an IR laser, and a visible laser that you can get in either red, green, or blue. Before we get into it, though, I'd like to ask you to please like, comment, and hit that subscribe button to join the herd here at WV Guns and Goats, everybody. Now, why haven't you heard about the XK68? Well, probably like me, I'd never heard of it before. But I was browsing YouTube Shorts one night and came across a short by the user Bargain Bin Tactician, and he was showing it off, saying he had it on his AR for over 500 rounds, and around the 800 round mark, he did have to apply some Loctite to the mount screws. But I was intrigued. Laser unit and a light that I hadn't seen before, and one that sounds like it holds up pretty well. Well, I went to YouTube to look for some more information, and there were only like two videos. That guy's short that I found where I initially discovered it, and then the manufacturer showcase video. So I went back and I did some searching and I found their website, which is www.smslaserstore.com. And I went on there and started looking. I sent a message to the manufacturer and said, "Hey, I'd like some more information on your XK68." And they offered me a chance to do a tabletop video for all y'all. And they sent me this unit, so that's what we're doing tonight. Now, what we're going to go over is everything that comes with it. We're going to go over all the features that it has, and then we are going to take it outside and we're going to compare the Illuminator to a Surefire Scout. We're going to show you the IR beam and dot under a night vision scope, and then we are going to show you the visible laser after dark as well. The night vision scope we will be using is the ATN X-Sight digital sight. It's going to come in a nice foam-lined plastic case to protect it during shipping and storage if you don't leave it on your gun. Next up inside, you'll find a battery charger. This unit comes with an 18650 rechargeable battery already installed in it, and this included charger just plugs into a USB port or a USB power block, which is not included. And then you pull this back and slide the battery into the charger, and this indicator light will tell you if it's charging or not. Next up, you're just going to get a single page manual, which includes some technical details about the unit, as well as the operation and what all the markings on the unit mean, but we're going to cover those tonight in this video. If your gun doesn't have Picatinny rail space, it includes a piece of Velcro to stick the pressure switch right here to your gun. If your gun has Picatinny rails, it includes these rail covers that will hold the remote switch onto the gun. And it's also going to include a set of Allen keys for adjusting the mount, tightening it down, and adjusting the windage and elevation screws on the unit. Next up, you have this pressure switch, and let's talk about that. It has a pretty nice plastic body to it, and the momentary switch is free of any kind of mushiness that you generally find on cheap remote switches. And if you listen closely, you probably heard the clicking. That's got an audible and tactile feedback to the on and off switch on the remote switch. Next up, the end of the remote switch cable includes a locking collar to hold it onto the unit so it doesn't pull out. I actually almost dropped this unit and caught it by the remote switch, and it did not pull out. Even though the unit fell out of my hands, I had a hold of the remote switch and it did not pull free from it. So let's take a look at the unit itself. The first thing you notice when you pick this unit up is that it's got a good bit of weight to it. That's because this uses an aluminum body instead of a cheap plastic body, and the machining is done really well. There's no machine marks, and the anodized finish looks very nice and uniform. Up front, here we have our 1200 lumen visible light, our IR laser emitter, and our visible laser emitter. Then we have the elevation and the windage adjustment screws for each laser. On the side here, you have an on unit, on and off switch. In case you don't have enough room for the pressure switch or you don't want to use it, you have a button on the unit itself. Back here, this is the connector for the remote switch, and then you have the battery cap, which has a replaceable rubber retainer on it. On the left side here, you'll see there's a pictogram that ensures you insert the battery correctly into the unit. Now, this is the remote switch, as I showed you before, and if you attach it, you'll notice it just clicks on. I don't know if you heard that. Let's try it again. Now it only has one orientation it'll click in on, so you can't get it upside down or backwards. So that's really nice. When it's in there, it doesn't pull out until you pull the collar back, and then it disconnects from the unit. Push it back on, pull that back, and disconnect it. So now we're going to talk about this switch on top, and this is your mode selector switch. You have 8 different modes on there. As you can see, this letter B here. Now that is for the blue, because as I said, I got the blue laser version instead of the red or the green. That'll say R or G on it, depending on which one you get. Now you have IR laser only, light with a strobe feature. The strobe is super fast. The camera can't pick it up because it's so fast. Makes it look a lot slower than it is. You'll see that when we get outside. Then you have the IR laser, blue laser, and light. Then you have your visible laser and your light, your IR laser and your light only, and your IR and blue laser, and then back to your laser only. Those are the different settings and functionality of this switch on top. If you do turn this switch, it pauses at each setting. You can feel it stop at each one. And due to its shape, you can easily identify which setting it's pointing to because it's got a unique shape to it. You can actually kind of feel it, and if you've memorized all the different settings, you'll be able to tell which one it's on. So let's go ahead and take it outside and see how it performs. Targets are at 25 yards, Surefire Scout with a KX2C head versus the XK68. Surefire Scout, XK68. Testing the visible laser on the XK68. Testing the beam at distance, the Surefire Scout first. That building is about 75 yards away. And then the XK68. Once again, Surefire Scout, XK68. Both beams together. XK68 laser at distance on that same building. Now on the tree line, that's about 120-ish yards from where we're standing. Building, tree line. Testing the strobe on the XK68. It's a lot faster in real life than the camera shows. And then this also has a feature where you can have both the light and the laser on at the same time. And here's the dot of the IR laser as seen through an ATN digital night sight. I hope that video on the XK68 by SMS Laser helped you out. If you were looking for an inexpensive light, laser, and IR laser unit, well, check these guys out. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a good evening.